Hey guys, I wanted to do something to help those of you who are trying to learn how to do Byron Katie's work, the self-inquiry process. So if you don't do the work right, then it's not going to be effective. But this is the most, I believe, it's the most transformative thing you could possibly do for yourself, the most empowering thing that you can do for yourself. It reprograms your mind. You won't even have to go through years of counseling or any of that stuff. Not that I'm saying that, you know what I'm saying? Do it if you want to do it. But in my own experience, which is unique to me, I have found that it completely liberated me and rewired the way I think of everything. And it's just totally set me free and just pretty much made me have a sense of humor about everything. So, and that was in the middle of a really, really toxic relationship that I was in. I committed myself to doing one thought every day. One thought every day is about 30 to 45 minutes if you do it right. So I would get a pad of paper like this, the spiral at the top, and a pen, or if you prefer a pencil's fine, but make sure that you write it down. That's one of the most important things is our egos will try to get us to just be like, oh, just have a positive attitude. That's not even going to do the same thing at all. I cannot overemphasize that enough. You have to go through kind of this rewiring thing that happens when you do this work, and there are no shortcuts. So don't even try. Please don't even try any shortcuts. Do this the way that I'm instructing right now, and you will feel a shift if you do it every single day for at least 30 to 60 days. You will not even believe the difference. You're not even going to believe it, you guys. Just and this is the perfect time to be practicing this right now. So I'm going to tell you how I do it. I am not a facilitator of Byron Katie's work. You can get all the details. You can get her book. You can order any of her books. But her website is thework.com. And so I'm not pretending to be a facilitator. I am just sharing how I do the work on myself, how I do her self-inquiry process, okay? So first of all, you need to formulate the thought. So typically, think about what you're saying to people when you're complaining. He should do this, she should do that, I shouldn't have to endure this, I shouldn't have to be all alone. Whatever the thought is, whatever the thing is that you're saying to somebody else, those are the gold nuggets you need to grab and write down at the top of a sheet of paper. Put it up there. There goes the thought. So since many of you, I try to think of a thought that like all of you experience, at least the feminines, I'm going to put it down here. He should be talking to me. He's making me freaking crazy, right? That's like something you guys all go through and experience. So the first question she asked you to ask yourself is it true? Do you know in this moment for a fact that he should be talking to you? And then it's not a matter of getting that answer right. It's just being honest with yourself. So write down yes or no, whatever that is for you. Is it true? And do you really know for a fact that it's actually true in this moment right now, not even having him in your space? Is it true? Do you know that it's a fact that he shouldn't be talking to you or that he should be talking to you? Okay. The next step is you write down, how do I feel or how do I act or what do I do when I believe this thought is true? Keep it as short as possible. Do not ramble at this stage. You just go through and imagine your day and the things and the ways that you react when you believe the thought that he should be talking to me. He's making me crazy. So I went ahead and wrote down some answers to that. I stress out. I doubt his feelings for me. I talk to friends who also make me doubt. I push friends away. I go to multiple readers for validation that get conflicting opinions that confuse me even further. I can't sleep. See how these are nice and short? I can't sleep. I emotionally eat. I watch YouTube readings all day. I feel like giving up on him. I get angry. I snap at my kids. I wonder what's wrong with me, that he doesn't like me. I feel bad about myself. I get defensive about him to other people, and I think he's a player. I think the worst, basically. So then the next question that you ask yourself is, who would I be if I had amnesia and I was incapable altogether of even having that thought at all? So imagine the same scenario, the same things that are going on where he's not talking to you, only you have amnesia and you have no clue what to even make of it. You're just like, oh, he's not talking to me, right? So you might be more patient. You might concentrate on your life purpose or other things. I'm going to put it in like I'm writing it. I might be more patient. I'd concentrate on my life purpose and other things I can actually have control over. I would take the opportunity to work on things I feel insecure about and heal them. I'd relax more. I'd have a sense of humor and go with the flow a little better. I wouldn't jump to conclusions about every little thing that he does or says or ruminate about past experiences, because some part of me would be thinking that's somehow normal. So I wouldn't jump to conclusions about why he's doing what he's doing and what he's doing when he's doing it or any of that stuff. I wouldn't be overanalyzing it. I'd be gracious and unassuming, and I might take actions to make my own life more secure and love myself to the point I could take or leave him. Now you want to be to that point. You want to not need him, but you want him in your life. He needs to be the whipped cream on top, not, oh my gosh, I must have to survive, you know? So if you're in that space, you're not empowered enough to really be with him. You almost have to get to that point where you're totally empowered and you're like, hey, I would love to have him in my life when that presents itself. That's hard. I know that's hard, but that's where you're aiming to get to. Then is the most creative and effective part of this whole exercise. Now, all of this is geared toward bringing more self-awareness to you. But again, I want to encourage you, don't let your mind travel to, oh, well, I do this and I feel this way because blah, 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 blah. Don't let your mind do that. You're honing it in. You're bringing it in, making it simple. I get impatient. I feel doubt. I feel angry. Like, keep it short and simple, right? Now you're going to go into these turnarounds, and the turnarounds mean that you take the original sentence, which is, he should be talking to me, he's making me crazy, turning it around to all the different ways you possibly can. Look at every single word in that sentence and turn it around all these different ways, right? And then you're going to demonstrate for yourself, you're going to list all the different ways that these turnarounds are, all the proof and evidence that the turnarounds are just as true, if not truer, than the original statement. So finding opposites is one way to do that. So he shouldn't be talking to me. What is the proof and evidence that you can come up with as to why he shouldn't be talking to you? And then you list those things down. Just brainstorm. Just get creative with it. There's no right or wrong here. It's just, okay, so maybe he shouldn't be talking to me. Maybe if I were involved in his life, I would have all this drama and negativity. Maybe he's really depressed and I wouldn't want that. Maybe he's drinking too much. Maybe he's just really in a negative space and he'd rip my face off and I don't want to be exposed to that. Maybe he's really doubting himself and really having a tough time getting some self-esteem going. And no matter what I would say to him, he wouldn't listen to it anyway. You know, you don't know. So write all that down as proof or evidence that is just as true, if not truer, than that original statement. He shouldn't be talking to me. He's not making me crazy, right? The next one you could do as an opposite is, I shouldn't talk to others about him. Well, you can see why that is true, because you're pushing your friends away. You're making them hate him. You don't want that. You know, you shouldn't be talking to people about negative things about your person anyway. I should talk to him is another way to turn that sentence around. I should talk to him. Well, if there's something that you haven't said and you need to say your piece, then you need to be the one to write to him and not expect anything back, but just give from the perspective of, you know what, I don't want to die not having said my piece. I'm just going to say my piece no matter what the result, and I just got to make sure that if it's off of me, the ball's in his court. That way my conscience is clear. And if I do move on with someone else, I'm not sitting there going, oh, if only I would have just really told him how I felt, then things could have worked out differently. No, you want it to be like 100%. Like, he knows I love him. He knows how much I missed him. He knows how much blah, blah. I reached out several times. He did not say anything back. I am in the clear about moving on. So you want to get to that. So maybe you need to say something to him possibly. And listen to your instincts, you know, listen to your gut on that. Listen to your intuition. Another opposite would be, I shouldn't talk to him. So maybe you're bugging him. Maybe you're stalking him. Maybe you're like constantly calling or texting or trying to get his attention. Maybe you just need to stop it. stop it and just completely leave him alone to be able to go through his own maturing process and his own conclusions that he can come to from his own inner dialogue. You want him to grow into you just like you need to grow into your relationship with him. So another turnaround is to make it about thinking or your ego instead of about him. So I shouldn't be talking to myself in my mind. Well, that's just as true. That's totally true, because what you use in your mind to torment yourself is awful. You believe that you're fat, that you're ugly, you're not good enough, that you compare yourself to his karmic. You like go through all these assumptions. Oh, they must be really happy. He's moved on because he's got all these pictures of her and blah, blah, blah. I mean, your mind is what's creating your suffering, not him, or not him ignoring you. He could be actually totally protecting you. He could be actually madly in love with you and can't stand her, but he's trying to save face, and he's trying to make it look like he's doing the right thing, even though he's falling flat on his face, failing. But he doesn't want to look that way because his ego is too, his ego will get bruised. So I shouldn't be talking to myself in my mind, just as true. So you list all of the proof and evidence as to why that's very true. I shouldn't listen to the little devil on my shoulder, which is your ego. Because the little devil on your shoulder will come up with all of these worst case scenarios. It's because of this, it's because of that. It's the same thing as your mind and your ego are one and the same. So, but you could separate them out if you want to, and just be like the devil on my shoulder will try to convince me why this isn't going to work. It's going to put all this doubt in my mind. It's going to tell me he's the player. It's going to tell me that, oh yeah, well, he doesn't even give a crap about me. He's just blah, 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 all that stuff where you start getting an attitude and get all about it. You list all those things down as to why would you listen to that devil on your shoulder? That's way more suffering than if you were to actually sit down and talk to him about why he acted that way and why he was ghosting you and whatnot. You would actually understand it. You totally would. And you'd be like, thank you for sparing me. Do you know what I mean? You guys just are being control freaks sometimes about it. And not to judge yourself, but realize that you're just trying to control something, and you just need to let it go. You just need to let him do what he's got to do and trust him, trust him to come to the right conclusion, and the right conclusion is to do what's best for him, what's truly best for him. What's truly best for him is going to lead him back to you. So then you can change the verb to the opposite. So I should be listening to him. Well, yeah, because it started out, he should be talking to me. The opposite of talking is listening, right? I should be listening to him. What did he say to me before he ghosted me? I'll consider what he said. There's so many times I've done these consultations, and you guys will be like, oh yeah, well, he told me that. Seriously? He did? And then I'll go, oh, well, he could be da-da-da-da. Well, yeah, he told me that too. Why the hell aren't you guys listening? Seriously, listen to what he's told you as to his reasoning and take him seriously and give him lots of space. Let him sort that out. And the other one is he should be listening to me. Well, how can he listen to you if you haven't voiced yourself? So make sure that you voice yourself very well as to what it is that you feel like you still might need to express, if you need to. Okay, opposite person or people. This is a really fun part. Like, Katie doesn't even talk about doing this, but I think I've found it very eye-opening. When you're done with the whole exercise, which, like I said, all of this that I've just taken you through, it takes about 30 to 45 minutes. If you did it right, that means you really took the time to really think it through thoroughly, and list as many as you can possibly think of. I mean, really like push yourself. That's how you learn the most, and that's where you get the most, the more epiphanies and breakthroughs on this stuff, right? But then what you do is after you're done with the exercise, you go back through and you read it out loud as if you're him reading it about you. Now you're going to have to change some words around, but when you start connecting the dots and you start repeating it back as if you're him, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked at how you guys are going through kind of the same thing. You guys are really mirroring each other. For example, what you would do is you'd come back through, you'd act like you're doing the worksheet, but you're him, right? And he would be like, she should be talking to me. She makes me crazy, right? Or maybe she shouldn't be talking to me. She makes me crazy. Is this true? Yeah, it's true, And then how do I feel when I believe this? Well, I feel stressed out. I doubt her feelings for me. I talk to my friends who make me doubt. I push my friends away. I go to, whatever it is. You get the point. Go back through as if you're him reading it about you, and you'll be so surprised sometimes at how incredible, how relatable it is. The whole thing is to get you to have like epiphanies and be more self-aware, and it's incredibly effective. And then at the very end, we always say, I never want him to do that again. I never want him to come back as and he's going to ghost me all over again. Or I never want him to do this thing where he comes and goes and comes and goes, and it just drives me crazy, all that stuff. When you have resistance to something, when you say that it shouldn't be there, you're going to actually cause it to happen more often. So it's the resistance that causes more of it. So if you can get to a point where you're accepting of it, it's going to happen far less frequently. That's just the way things work. When we push against anything in life, it causes it to happen more. So that's why I put out my guided meditation that you guys could be listening to every day. It has a candle. It's a dark background with a candle lit. Listen to that every day if you can, or something similar to it that uplifts you. Anyway, you neutralize by saying the statement, I am willing to let him ignore me. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with him ignoring me. I'm willing to let him ignore me. Okay? And that's going to be hard to swallow at first, but just say it out loud. I'm willing to let this happen this way, And then if you can get to the point where you can say, I look forward to him continuing to ghost me. I look forward to him continuing to ignore me in future circumstances. I look forward to the next time, because he just might do it, and you may as well not have any resistance to it. You may as well just accept it as a part of life that happens and look forward to it. So if you can get to the point where you're just like, hey, I look forward to connecting with him and having him run away, and connecting and running away. That's the way that life and true love works. Woohoo! Try to get in the flow with it and not fight it and not resist it. The more you try to make anything something that it's not, it's going to fight you. It's going to totally fight you. Okay, so hopefully that helps really clarify for you guys. I know it's a big learning curve, but if you commit to learning to do this, you will not need any friends anymore to bounce things off of. You won't need anybody's opinions on anything anymore. You won't need anybody for anything or any reassurance. You will become your own best friend, because all you will need is a little pad of paper and a pen, and you will be able to get through anything. You could do this with the quarantine. You can do this with any stressful thought you ever have. And I swear, if you do it consistently every single day, the profound effects that it will have on you, and the way that it gives you a sense of humor and causes liberation, you will just be in shock at the different person that you become and what it does for you in your life. All right. So again, you can go to thework.com for more information, or you can look up Byron Katie on YouTube to watch how she does it. BYRONKATIE, and she actually goes by the name Katie. What else? I don't know. And I'm happy to show you how to do it and help you with it in our remote sessions as well. If you guys need me to do that, I'd be happy to take the time to help you guys. And as you guys kind of stumble around with those turnarounds, because they're the most important part, but they also take a lot of creativity. If you guys need help kind of bouncing things off of me, if you get stuck on a certain stressful thought, I am happy to help you, like on WhatsApp. Just be like, hey, this is the thought that I'm stuck on. How do I turn this around? I'm so happy to help you guys and not even charge you for that. Unless it gets like out of control, you guys are doing that all the time or something like that. But as it is right now and as it stands right now, it's so important for me to see you guys start to rise above any fears or anxieties at this time, and really use this time to get empowered. And I want to see that so badly for you guys. I'm willing to do that in my spare time for free. So, reach out to me if you get stuck on those turnarounds or at a certain part of this process, and I'd be happy to take a moment to just explain something to you real quick to help you get through those little stuck places, okay? Otherwise, we can do it in a reading, and we can take a lot more time. And, just want to see you guys become free and liberated at this time. So I love you guys. Hope you're having a good day. And, let me know also if you've been doing Byron Katie's work for a while and you know some of these things that help, if you want to, if anybody has any questions or if they have any guidance for anybody, feel free to interact with one another down below in the comments and help each other out as well, because those of you who are kind of experienced in it can definitely help those who get a little bit stuck amongst yourselves as well. Just repeated that all, didn't I? Anyway, have a great day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Hey, if you like my videos, please share, subscribe, and set your bell notifications on so you'll know the moment they come out. Also, don't forget that you can go to my website and order a personal reading at amysatori.com/services. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.